Good morning, how is everybody doing? So I've driven up to Alaska and I'm out on this Nabesna road. There's some old mining ruins at the end of this. I might check that out later, but just done a disgusting amount of driving and I'm ready to get out and do something. So I've cobbled together a route here in the Mentasta Mountains, but there's a few things I need to prepare before I set off. So this is my old Garmin Fenix 6 Pro, then the 7X that I upgraded to. It's been worth the money. I'm happy with it. The battery life on it is phenomenal, and also the GPS is quicker and more accurate. I lent this one to my dad. He's using it. I asked if I could borrow it back because I've been curious to see what kind of distance Rocco does in a day versus me. So we'll try that out, and I'll make sure these are both charged to 100% before I go. We can also compare that. I'm going to have to remove the GoPro mount off her harness and sew on a little pouch that holds this. I need it to be protected because she's a lunatic. She's always rolling around and bushwhacking, and she could probably destroy this thing within a single hike. I should set up some prizes. Place your bet. How much distance does she do versus me? Got an old beat up gator. I'll try to use this. It's nice durable material. So I'll put it in face down, then the Velcro connects on the underside so they can't get pulled open when she's out there running around. I've been wanting to modify my crampons too. I have a hard time getting them good and tight. I normally just wrap it around my hand and pull it, but if there was a loop on there like that, it'd be much easier to do. So much easier to tighten when you can actually grab onto it. And then normally you're up on a mountain, your fingers are freezing, you're trying to tie this off in a knot, so I put a carabiner on the end. Done. I'm doing an afternoon start on this. The distance is probably something that I could handle within a day trip. But the cloud forecast is clearest tomorrow morning, so I'll try to set myself up for that. And also it's nice for Rocco too to break it up into separate trips. Into the wild here of Alaska, headed for Noise Mountain. Just like the last video, I have no idea if this is going to work. I just saw it on the map. Looked like an interesting spot to go, so let's try for it. I believe it's about 8,600 feet high, which is decent, but in these parts it's tiny because right behind me here is Mount Sanford and Mount Blackburn, which are both above 16,000 feet, which is mind-blowing to me. I got to do some research and see if I can get to the top one of those. I'm going to try to do 10, 15 kilometers tonight. We'll see what that translates to in Rocco's crazy little world. Maybe I do more distance than her with all the backtracking for the tripod. I'm going to quit earlier than planned. Found a good place to camp here. My boots are wet, my socks are wet. Rocco's cold, so we'll get a fire going and warm ourselves up. I got 9.6 kilometers. How far did you go, Rocco? Rocco did 10.6 kilometers tonight. Some high-end dedication to drive an ATV this far. It's some rugged terrain, but it looks like it gets easier from here, so I should be able to cruise along quick tomorrow morning. I kept hearing these noises last night. I thought it was my tent fly flapping around in the wind. I finally looked outside. There's a black bear just a foot away from me. I just yelled at it and ran away as I was fumbling around trying to grab my bear spray in the dark. But it was already gone. So I can finally see it, Noise Mountain. Not quite as exciting as Rattlette was. I'll just contour my way up this hillside straight to it. I think Rocco's getting cold. I'll probably have to carry her from here on up. Life is so much harder without coffee. I feel like I'm walking like a dinosaur. Trying to lift these big heavy legs. I hope that bear isn't messing with all my gear that I left behind. Headed up a mountain, check. Looks like I'll be able to reach the top of it, check. High excitement level. I don't know. When you're fortunate enough to see a bunch of really nice things, it raises the bar to such a level, and it's easy to become a mountain snob. But the view actually is getting kind of nice, and if I can see all those monsters over there, I'll be happy with this. Here. No view of Mount Sanford today. Like, imagine that, it stands nearly twice as tall as where I am right now. That's looking towards Glen Allen and Anchorage. Then just all these mountain ranges spreading across Alaska up to Fairbanks in that direction. It is cold, and I'd like to get out of here now. Well, that settles it. I'm definitely in the US of A. That's how they go moose hunting up here. Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't walk that much further than me. Plus, I carried her for a good 1.5 kilometers. But you can see how much faster her moving speed is than mine. That's interesting. And then battery, 78% versus 43%. This salad is delicious, and I'm spent. I'm probably going to finish this up, go straight to bed, and tomorrow drive to the end of this road and check out Nabesna, see what's there. Well, Rocco, should we get moving, buddy? So gold was discovered out here in 1891, and I feel like the story of how they actually found it would be more interesting than the mining itself. They would have been bushwhacking for hundreds of miles trying to find a needle in a haystack. But at least back then, they could hunt whatever they wanted, so I don't think it'd be any trouble finding food. But it wasn't until almost 40 years later that they got this road constructed and they could start shipping out the goods. About a 3 kilometer walk to get up to where the mine site is. There's also the Rambler mine up there. See if I can catch that on the way back. There are warning signs that all this orange tinted soil is contaminated tailings runoff. So I am carrying Rocco at this point. I'll go back to that main building later. We'll search around here first. Looks like these were the living quarters. This one is just crammed with stuff. Guess when the job is done, you just leave everything behind. A keg of beer. Oh, what a mess. This one looks like a workshop. There's a whole day's worth of stuff to see and find. This little ghost town here. This looks like the bottom part of the tram line. Alright, let's see if we can go into the main building here. Yeah, this does not look like a safe place to be tromping around, kicking up dust. That's about as far as I'm going to go into here. Alright, let's go see what the Rambler mine has to offer. I've been to Kennecott a number of years ago. I think it's the nicer of the two, where it's actually been preserved and you don't get a dose of arsenic from just walking around. But I like seeing these ones that have been abandoned too. You think if there's good mining here, then 60 miles south in Kennecott on the other side of the Wrangels, that there'd be something in between, but it's all under a gigantic ice field. So I bet you all the prospectors are cheering on global warming to see what's underneath it all. There's one I found in BC called the Bruce Jack, where they carved a road right up the middle of this glacier. If only that was open to the public. I should put the GoPro on Rocco, then she could go in there and explore it for me. These buildings are all empty. There's not much to see here. Alright, Rocco, let's head on back to the van. Well, I think that brings this Alaskan episode to a close. I'm filthy. I gotta go find somewhere to get cleaned up, and it's no short drive to reach anything from here. Every time I come to the States, I have to eat one of these. I think it's a rite of passage. You know when it's got no expiry date on it, that it's certified health food. And also when it's not even packaged up. It's just in a cardboard box. Oh man, I feel like I'm adding years onto my life right now. Well, I'm going to try to finish this thing up, and hopefully I survive to make another episode. So thanks for watching, and thank you to Patreon supporters. Hope everyone's doing good, and I will see you soon. Oh yeah, so good. So good.